Hello guys, welcome to this database management tutorial on SQL Constraint. Now let me first explain what an constraint means. So constraint is used to enforce some limit on data or data type which user are inserting in a table. The whole purpose of this constraint is to give us data integrity. That means complete and correct data. So whenever a user tries to insert, update or delete some data, that time with the help of constraints we will actually get some correct data. So for that purpose we use this constraint. Now there are 4 types of constraints which we use in Dbms. Those are nut null, unique, default and check. So let's start with nut null constraint. Nut null constraint is something which ensures that user has to enter some value in the table. If that column does not hold any value or null value, then it will return an error. So let's see this nut null constraint with the help of a simple query. So here I'll create one simple table, let's say person table, in which I'll be using this nut null constraint. So I have declared one column that is id of type integer, and next column I'll use as name of varchar size 10, and here I'll be using this nut null constraint. So my table is ready, so I'll run this. Now you can see the table has been created. Now I'll show you how this nut null is being enforced. So I am inserting some value in this person table. So let's say I am inserting null value. That means I am violating this nut null constraint. So it will return me an error that cannot insert null, that means no value, in name column. So that means I am enforced to enter some value, then only it will be accepted. So when I am giving the data, then it has been inserted. So this is a simple example query for nut null. So I'll check if my value has been inserted or not. Okay. So my value has been inserted. Now the second type of constraint is unique constraint. Unique constraint enforces an column to have unique value inside it. If we try to enter same value, that is duplicate value again, then it will throw us an error. So here in this table itself, let's say I'll change the table name and I'll use this unique constraint in this column, that is name. Now I'm creating this table. So my table has been created. So I'll mention this n and I will insert one value, let's say that is 1 and Anup. So it has been inserted. Now when I try to insert the same name, that is Anup, which is already there in my table, it will throw me an error because I have mentioned that name cannot be unique, that means it cannot be same. So it is giving me an unique constraint error, that means unique constraint is violated. So we have to mention something unique, that means unique name, next name or any other name, then only it will be accepted, or else it won't be accepted. So when we run this, it is accepted, and I'll check. So here both the values has been inserted. So this was a simple example of unique constraint. Now let's move on to the third one, that is default constraint. Now this default constraint provides default value in our column. So let me give you an example. Let's say in my company there are 4 employees who are having equal salary, that is same salary of 20,000. So in that case I can use this default constraint. So I'll show you with the help of an example. So salary of type integer, here I'll use default, let's say 20,000. That means the salary by default is 20,000. So whenever I'll use this default, it will automatically generate the salary amount, that is 20,000. So I'm changing the table name and creating this table. Okay, so I'll mention this comma. So my table is created. Now here I will try to insert the default value, and here as well. So when I insert this, so it has been inserted. Now by default we will get the default salary, that is 20,000 in our salary column. So for this purpose we can use default constraint. And the last one is check constraint. This check constraint is used when we want to specify some specific range. Let's say in my this table, that is person table, I want it to be value to be inserted by age 18 and above, and whosoever are of age less than 18, they won't be able to insert value in my table person. So for that purpose I'll use this age constraint. So I'll create one more column, that is age, and here I'll use this constraint, that is check constraint, in which I'll mention that age should be greater than 18, greater than equal to 18, or else it will return an error. So I'll create this table. So table has been created. Now I'll mention this n so that we don't get an error. Okay, now here, so I have mentioned that age should be 18 and above. So what if I try to insert age less than 17? So let's check. So it's giving an error, that is check constraint violated. So that means we have to mention age greater than 18 or equal to 18, then only it will be accepted. Now let's try to insert it. So you can see it has been inserted. So both the values has been inserted, and we'll simply check. So now here you can see age is above 18, which is my check constraint. So with this, I hope you all understood the concept of constraint along with its types. So further, if you have any doubts, any queries regarding this constraint topic, you can mention in the comment section below, or you can text me. So thank you for watching.